All right, guys. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through how I create videos for Lisa Lynn, who's one of our AI influencers. I'm going to start off by showing you the video I already created, and then I'll walk you through how I did that. I just posted this video. It says 110 views. You can see the other videos get a lot more views, so don't pay attention to that.
3 things only people with software engineer friends understand. First, hanging out with them is basically co-working without consent. You come over thinking you're gonna watch a movie, and suddenly you're sitting on their couch like a decorative plant while they type aggressively for 2 hours. And if you dare speak, they hit you with that 1 second finger for 40 minutes. Second, they treat group chats like pull requests. You'll get bullet points, timestamps, and a closing statement. Everyone else is sending memes, voice notes, and unhinged photos at 2 a.m. They respond once a week with a full changelog. Sometimes they'll literally write LGTM about weekend plans. You're not talking to a friend, you're talking to a Slack bot that learned sarcasm. And finally, engineers can solve quantum level problems, but crumble the second they have to function socially. They can architect a distributed system in their sleep, but can't order a burrito without panicking. You'll watch them freeze at Chipotle like EC2, US East 1. 3 things only people...
Now off to how we did it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be creating an AI influencer video. This one is going to be for one of our AI influencers called Lisa Lynn. I might as well show you what her account looks like because at this point, why not? We're going to be getting into the weeds of things. Let's do that first. So this is Lisa. She has like 500 followers, fairly new account. So I wouldn't look at the followers too much. If you look at the performance of the videos, doing pretty decent. I would say averaging probably like 10K if you discount her newer videos. Obviously, I'm sorting by popularity here, but her more recent videos have done better than her initial ones. And we're going to be creating a video for her today. I was going to create a video anyway. I thought, why not record it? So the way I do this is I have a document where I track all of the different video ideas, particularly for this account. We treat our avatars like real people, so we list their names in the title, as you can see here. The video we're going to be creating today is 3 things only people with software engineer friends understand. So the idea is people who are software engineers are probably going to share this video with their friends, or people who know software engineers but aren't software engineers are probably going to share this with their friends. And I'm thinking we can generate a good amount of engagement on this video this way. The other reason this video idea is interesting is because it's just funny. So the way the script goes is first, hanging out with them is basically co-working without consent. You come over thinking they're going to watch a movie, and suddenly you're sitting on the couch like a decorative plant while they type aggressively for 2 hours. And if you dare speak, they hit you with that 1 sec finger for 40 minutes. And it keeps going. So I come up with these ideas in ChatGPT. You can actually generate this script in Pamba as well. However, because I like to work in bulk, and I could introduce you guys to our bulk UI, but I'm not going to do that yet because we still haven't deployed it. I like to come up with all the scripts together. I just work better that way. Anyway, so I'm going to go into Pamba here and go into the avatar view, go and create some content for Lisa. So now we are inside of a video project. This is where we can create our video. All right, so actually I want to demonstrate to you guys how you could come up with the script here without needing to do all of the work of like thinking through it or going into ChatGPT. So another way I could have done this is I could go in here and say, let's make a viral TikTok video talking about, and let's just, what was the exact language we used here? Let's copy and paste that. 3 things only people with software engineer friends understand. Okay, and the agent should go off and come up with a creative concept for us. I can override the script later in this UI here and I'm going to do that, but I thought it would be worthwhile showing you guys how this works. So this UI is going to be changed sometime soon. By the time you're watching this, we may have a novel way of doing this. We're always trying to automate this as much as possible because certain aspects of creating these AI influencer videos are so tedious. So you can see the agent is now generating preview images. So we have some preview images here, and we have the creative concept. So let's come up with a background or the scene, a cozy modern apartment bedroom with LED lights subtly glowing in the background. And then we have the script. Okay, so here are 3 things only people with software engineer friends actually get. Number 1, you'll never know if they're free or debugging something that's blocking them for 3 days straight. So yeah, this script is decent. Still, I think somewhat funny probably. We don't need to read all of it. Let's not waste too much time. Let's just take this script that we actually want and do our replacement here. Now, M dashes are frowned upon in our system, so we're going to remove those. They tend to mess up the video model, so try not to include those if you can. The agent actually won't use M dashes anymore because GPT 5.1, or I think. All right, guys, I was rudely interrupted by Loom, the software I'm using to record this video, because apparently I was on the free tier and I could only record 5 minutes of video. So where were we? So I was saying M dashes are now removed from scripts because the new OpenAI basically supports telling the model not to use M dashes, which is it's pretty crazy it took them this long. Anyway, the M dashes have basically been killed from the English dictionary because everyone assumes you're using AI if they are in your content. All right, so we have the script that we pasted in from the other document. I am going to skim through it here to make sure it is nice and clean, meaning there's no bloat, it's engaging. So second, they treat group chats like pull requests. Everyone else is sending memes, voice notes, and unhinged photos at 2 a.m. They respond once a week with a full change log. You'll get bullet points, timestamps, and a closing statement. Sometimes they'll literally write LGTM, which stands for looks good to me, about weekend plans. You're not talking to a friend, you're talking to a Jira ticket with feelings. Sounds a little bit cringe, this last part. But I think I'll keep it for now. And finally, engineers can solve quantum level problems. Going to remove the dash there, but crumble the second they have to function socially. They can architect a distributed system in their sleep, but can't order a burrito without panicking. You watch them freeze at Chipotle like an overloaded server. Okay, I like that. Maybe it would be funny here if we said you'll watch them freeze at Chipotle like EC2 US East 1 playing on the recent outage that had happened. Now I can also go into this chatbot here and instruct the agent on what to do if I don't know exactly what I want. So actually I'll show you guys because this is interesting. So first I'll update because I made this change here, like EC2 US East 1. Okay. And then, you know how I told you guys this part is kind of cringe. So I'm going to say, keep everything in the script as is, but change this part so that it's less cringe. Maybe use a better metaphor. I'll just give it this from the script. Let's see what it comes up with. Now, because you're talking to an agent that has to make a sequence of LLM calls, this is obviously going to be slower than going through the UI. So that's why we have a UI for specific changes where you want to go quick. And then you can also talk to the agent. And if you want to use a separate AI tool and copy and paste content over, you can also do that. But hopefully over time, as our product gets better, the demand for that will be less. So we're composing the UGC creative. Now, we're going to get to updating these images in a moment, and I'll explain why these images are important in a second. But basically these images govern the starting frame of the video, and they anchor the quality of the video a lot. So you want to pick the right starting image. The way you want to think about this is basically, number one, you want to create the right avatar, because if you have a bad avatar, then these starting images are going to be bad. And then once you have a good avatar, you want to make sure you have a good starting image, because if the starting image is bad, the video is going to be bad. So if you have both and you have a good script, that's where you're probably going to produce something that people actually want to watch. So we're the anti-slop company. We're actually trying to put out AI videos that are truly good. Hopefully, we don't kill the internet here, guys. All right. So the creative concept and image previews have been generated. Actually, we didn't get any new images because we only updated the script. So this is actually a bug that we stated image previews have been generated, but whatever. Let's leave that alone for now. Let's see what it gave us here. So, okay, so you're not talking to a friend, you're talking to a spreadsheet that became self-aware. Do I like that more than what we had before? So you'll get bullet points, timestamps, and closing statements. Sometimes they'll really write LGTM about weekend plans. You're not talking to a friend, you're talking to a spreadsheet that became self-aware. Wow, this is still kind of lame. Let's try ChatGPT to see if it's better. I know I'm not doing our product a service here by going into a separate product, but sometimes it's necessary. We're going to be real here. Okay. Can you come up with a better statement here that's funnier, like less cringe? Actually, I'm going to give it this whole video script. We're doing this for real. It's going to be a longer video, but that's okay. All right. Doom. So one of the issues I think we have in our app is that we're not using the GPT-5 chat latest model for coming up with the script. We're using GPT-5, I think, either the standard model or the mini model, which is better at reasoning, but not as good at creativity. Hopefully 5.1 is even better than that. I'm not sure if we have API access yet. All right, let's see. We have different options here. You're not talking to a friend, you're talking to a human API endpoint. You're not talking to a friend, you're talking to a Slack bot that learns sarcasm. Okay, that one's pretty funny. You're not talking to a friend, you're talking to a feature request with anxiety. You're not talking to a friend, you're talking to a Git commit that somehow became sentient. You're not talking to a friend, you're talking to a productivity tool. Learn how to breathe. Okay, I like this one actually. So I'm going to go in Pamba, replace that myself. Okay. And let's update. So as you can see, that updated really fast. Now you can go to the clips and you can actually see what, because the way this works is we can't produce a single video file at once. So what we do is we generate a series of clips for the video, because that's how these AI video models work at the moment. They generally have a constraint between 8 and 12 seconds of duration. And so you piece them together. And so we break the script up using a variety of different clip durations. And then we get the whole thing and by stitching these clips together. So I like to read through these to make sure that the clips were split up correctly. So I'm just going to look over this. We have an algorithm that does this, I would say, well, 80% of the time, but sometimes there are edge cases. Okay, this is pretty good. So now let's try to come up with a good starting frame for this video so that we can make sure the avatar's in the right environment, they're wearing the right things, and that the quality is realistic enough so that when the video model extrapolates from the starting frame, we get something that people aren't likely to detect as AI. Some people will still know it's AI because they've probably seen her prior videos, or maybe there's some imperfections, but we're not going to get around that yet. Probably we'll need another major model release from Google or OpenAI for that. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is there's several ways we can iterate on images. One is to select the image, and then we can type in like, change her to wear a hoodie, and we'll get an image back with that. But I want to change this more fundamentally. I think I want the background to be like, let's just do let's do a living room in San Francisco, living room with a window in the back showing the San Francisco skyline. The other thing you can do here, this is kind of a hack. You can inject what the subject should be wearing through the background description. It's kind of an anti-pattern. We need to fix this. There's different ways to do this. You can do it through a chat bot. You can tell the chat, hey, change the subject so that they are wearing a hoodie. But it's generally faster for me to do it through the background description, so I like to do it here. So I'm going to say subject is wearing a black hoodie with a heart on it. Okay. Gonna hit update, and that should give me some new image options. Now, there are 4 different image options that you're given. When you go to create the video, you're ultimately going to be selecting one. You can also select different different starting frames for different sets of clips. So you could use one image for the first 3 clips, another image for the next 3, and so on, if you want to have these like UGC style transitions. All right, so let's check these out. So that is very much San Francisco. I don't like how her hand is visible here. It doesn't look like she's in selfie mode. So we have the camera style selected here. So we can go tripod, half body, tripod, full body, or selfie where they're kind of holding the camera. This is decent. I'm going to ask the agent to give me a few more image options. I'm not sure I'm ready to commit any of these, but they're pretty good. The thing you want to look for is the detail on the face. It helps if there's like a reflection of light on the cheeks and the forehead. The dimples help as well. That all adds to the realism. If the face is looking too flat and bland, like they have a ton of makeup on them, then people usually associate that sort of a look with AI. Okay, where are these images? It's these ones, right? These are the new ones. So I'm not sure I'm in love with any of these. The other thing you want to look for is a clear background. So you don't want the background to be blurry. If the background's blurry, then it looks too cinematic and also tends to ruin the video. I actually think this one has that realistic feel the most. The background, the city skyline is a little bit blurry, but I think I can get over that. And like over time, as you're doing this, you're going to develop a feel for what works. Although hopefully over time, our product can select the image on your behalf and only give you good ones. Okay, I'm going to do 4 more fresh image options. And if I don't have anything better than this, I'm going to go forward with it. And we can proceed to generate the video, which is going to be a little bit slow because these video models are obviously they're just generating like a series of images. That's ultimately what a video is, right? It's just a series of frames that are displayed in quick succession. And if you imagine how long it takes to generate a single image in an image model, well, here the model provider needs to generate potentially I think 24 of them per second, although the video model is obviously not necessarily even creating them in sequence one after another. I think it could even be parallelized. So maybe there's room for improvement. Anyway, I digress. What do we have here? Okay, this. So see how the background is blurry here? It's still a decent video, or sorry, a decent starting frame for the video. Uh, Background removed. She's not holding the camera. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be the best frame. There's some other decent ones. The old me probably would have picked the wrong frame here, but we have some experience now understanding what works. I think this is going to be it. All right. So the way I like to start out is I ask the agent to generate the first 3 clips for me first without generating all of it. There's 9 clips here. Every clip we generate costs some amount of credits. Sometimes there is like an obvious issue that stems from like either the starting frame that we use or something in the background or potentially something else that we want to detect ideally without having to generate the entire video. So I'm just going to go do that and see how it looks in the first 3 clips. If things are looking good, then I'll generate the remainder of the video after. Okay, so we got our videos back. Now we're going to watch each of the clips we got back. We can also watch the full video. Okay, so there was some awkward audio in there, you might have noticed. That's just because our software is currently buggy at the edges of the clips when we stitch them together. The actual clip on its own doesn't have that defect. So when we move these clips into TikTok, we're not going to face those issues. So that was pretty good. I think the third clip was awkward there where I don't know, like she started making some random noise. Like what is going on here? I actually don't think that's so bad because I can edit that part out. So okay, I'm probably going to keep those 3. That was good. That was really good. Okay. All right, so let's now okay. So we can reselect that starting frame here. We could also select a different one if we wanted to have a transition uh, in the first third of the video, but I don't really care to have that. I haven't seen the videos with transitions to perform better, so I usually just have like the same starting frame all throughout, especially for a shorter video that's only like a minute. I don't think it's needed. Okay, so generate clips 4 through 9 now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we have our 6 other clips back from the agent. This is an exciting time. So we're going to watch this back. And remember, if you see some awkward audio, hear some awkward audio between the clips, that's the defect I was referring to before. Okay, so that was actually decent. I think I can edit most of those awkward pieces out. The one part that might need regeneration is the one clip that was really quiet for some reason. Which one was that? Or was that only in the fully rendered video and not part of the clips? Maybe. Okay, no, actually, maybe these are all fine. This seems to be a bug then. Okay, cool. So we have our 6 clips. We have our 3 clips here. Now what I'm gonna do is download all of these, put them into TikTok, edit them, and go ahead and post. I will probably put the video of the full thing after this so that you guys can go watch it. Um, Anything else I wanted to add here? Yeah, so as you could tell, this is a fairly laborious process right now. We're working on automating a lot of this so that you don't need to even go to TikTok separately on your phone and post it. We could have an integration with TikTok where we host the account on a real device and make sure it appears like a real user to TikTok so it doesn't get shadow banned, and also so that you don't actually need to go and airdrop your files to a phone and then upload it separately. Cool. Hope you enjoyed, and let's go viral, everybody.